Marvel Rivals players, I desperately need you guys to understand that nerfs do not always have to be the answer to everything. You guys have gotten way too used to being annoyed by something you see in a multiplayer video game and just having a nerf as the automated solution in your head. There are other solutions like side grades and counter picks. Personally, the reason
I'm gonna stop you right there. You do not want to go down that route, okay? You do not want to answer everything with counterpicking. I promise you, as somebody who's come from that side, that is a worse hell than you could ever imagine. I was with you for a sec, okay? I was actually with you, but no, I gotta put a hard stop right there. No. Yes, okay, like, listen. There can be soft counterpicks, right? Like, they have an Iron Man. We have nothing to shoot the Iron Man, because, like, we have, like, I don't know, we have Squirrel Girl and Mr. Fantastic. Sure, you want to go Hela. Sure, you want to go Punisher. Like, that makes sense, right? Like, that's a soft counter. Do not make it where it's like, oh, they picked Strange. Well, now I picked Punisher, and now the Strange no longer can play the video game. And I win because I beat them. Because I picked the correct character, and they didn't. I don't think Rivals will go down that route. I don't think that could ever happen in an open queue format. But I just want to put it out there, okay? You don't know what you're asking for. Please, I'm begging you. All right, we'll back it up a little bit and keep it going.
Like side grades and counter picks. Personally, the reason why I've enjoyed Marvel Rivals so much is because of how powerful every character feels. I've never felt a power fantasy similar to this in any multiplayer shooter that I've played in the past. When played correctly, tanks genuinely feel unkillable. Almost every DPS character has the ability to wipe you off the map before you even have time to think about it, and as long as you have the awareness necessary, you can keep your whole team alive playing support. This game makes you feel like you are the superheroes you've chosen to play.
Yes, it does,
and
actually.
The more you take that feeling away, the more boring the game is gonna get. And that
I will say though, from what their season 0 to season 1 patch was, there was a reason why I was very optimistic on the patch, where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let them cook a little bit because this game's still new. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't super knowledgeable. It's like, you know, we don't have a lot of data to go on, we don't have a lot of history to go on, and there was a lot of people that thought hella nerfs weren't enough, right? The one thing people were right about, and I think everyone was right about, was the Wolverine buff that wasn't really needed. But I think that was kind of a delayed reaction to like everyone figuring out that Wolverine was good at the last second, you know? So like they probably already scheduled that buff in and was like, okay, we're gonna send it. And then like they buffed him and then like, oh, we probably didn't need that. But like there was like the Hawkeye changes, the Hela changes, like people were like, they're not enough. But now you don't see Hela Hawkeye banned every game. You don't see them played every game. They're still very good. They're still very strong. But the small changes were actually kind of enough. So like so far, I think they're doing a pretty good job of it, if I'm honest, but yeah.
Slippery slope is not worth having characters be slightly less annoying to you. So instead of constantly calling for nerfs, call for the addition of counters. Or if you truly want to take something away from a character, make sure you add something so that the character doesn't lose its fun factor. Like for example, personally, I hate going up against Spider-Mans because of the extreme amount of mobility they have, and because of how their uppercuts just hit anyone in a 360 radius of them. But if I was in charge, I wouldn't just nerf the 360 radius and call it a day. I would make it so that you have to be looking directly at the target, but also do more damage than it does right now. This way, it's a trade-off. It makes the character a little harder, but more effective if you actually have the skill.
That would be a buff, real talk. How often are you uppercutting Spider-Man someone behind you? That would be a straight buff by quite a bit. There's a reason why Spidey is the way he is. It's because like to actually make him work, you have to just like be a mechanical genius and like do tons of things to make him work. You know, like that's why like if you're like extremely talented on Spider-Man, like you can run lobbies, but if you're not extremely talented on Spider-Man, you just kind of hard feed. I mean this with all due respect. I like the line of thinking that they're going for, but this is I would personally never do something like that. That's why so far I think that their current philosophy is pretty good. I've liked it so far.
People get frustrated by how unkillable Luna Snow and Mantis feel when they ult, right? How about we add characters that have anti-heal abilities?
Whoa! Wow, okay, that's another one. So, all right, I know that's a hot topic, anti-heal, right? I'll be honest with you, after playing Overwatch for 8 years and almost anti-heal being in all of those 8 years with Ana, even though Ana is one of the most beloved characters of the game, I can tell you as a tank player, specifically, anti-heal is most punishing to tank players. And is a giant anti-fun mechanic. And what I mean by that is like, I can gauge my aggressiveness, right? Like I know, okay, they're up we're up 3-4 on this fight. I can play slightly more aggressive, put slightly more pressure, right? But like, if there is somebody lurking or a random cooldown, like coming from somewhere that I didn't see or I wasn't able to catch because like so many things are happening on the screen, right? My ability to play the game just got shut off because you're relying on that sustain in that fight to keep going. And then it's just like, I like the strange one because it's like, it is like a self-hurt, right? Like it counters you for being too aggressive, right? Like if you go too aggressive and you pop your E and then you keep going aggressive, it's like, oh shit, you can't break off the E, the damage, so you end up getting a self-heal. But like straight up anti-heal, I get spooked by it. I don't know. I kind of, you know what's funny? I know people complain about triple support and complain about the meta in Rivals right now in that aspect. I think there's ways to balance it without anti-heal. That's just where I'm at the moment. But like, we'll see where they go.
Give anti-heal abilities to the characters that are already in the game. Hawkeye's secondary fire is basically useless, right? I've never seen anybody use it. So instead, give Hawkeye a poison arrow that he can only fire every 10 seconds that blocks all incoming healing for 2 seconds on the target that it hit. Give Black Widow some kind of poison dart shot that does the same. Maybe if they ever introduce...
You know what's funny? I remember I had my tier list, I put Black Widow in B, and I got flamed the absolute out of it. Everyone's like, you're so stupid. Widow's so ass, how could you put her in B? And now she's like very sneakily climbed her way up, and like people have realized, oh shit, Widow's actually low-key pretty damn good.
Introduce Blade to the game, they can give him abilities that cause some sort of bleed damage that takes longer to heal. Maybe after you hit a certain melee combo with him. This way, the characters that are annoying you get to stay powerful, and the people who
I like the
play them
sentiment
get to
though.
keep
I agree with their
having fun,
sentiments.
But you'll have a way to directly counter them, making them less annoying to you and giving them more to think about while playing, and therefore increasing the skill gap. Nerfs aren't the only answer.
And nerf no one, just buff everyone instead. Do not buff Hawkeye. But Jeff swallowing me way above him of the floor was kind of ridiculous. Do not give Hawkeye anti-heal. Please do not suggesting anti-heal ability. Okay, that's funny. By the way, small reminder, because I don't know how this is going to get divvied up during YouTube editing stuff. I just wanted to give you a quick reminder that this content would only be possible without you guys. So if you scroll through TikTok and you see cool TikToks that are funny, cool, interesting, ridiculous, lunatic takes, whatever it might be, please put them in my Discord under the Rivals TikTok tab. My mods and editors will go through it and make sure nothing will get me banned. And then we go through and watch them on stream because I'm only one pair of eyes. So if you love this content, it would only be doable without you. So yeah, make sure you put them in there if you want me to see them. All right, let's go.
Game. First and foremost, I want to make it known that I am only one person. Just because you have a healer on the team does not mean that you have God mode. And if you break line of sight, you are essentially going to get murdered, and it is not my fault. I want to make it abundantly clear that if you're crying that you're not getting healed while simultaneously taking 1v1 fights in a small dark room with Iron Fist, it is entirely your fault. I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention towards the sides of the map where you'll see an abundance of health packs that for some reason you like to avoid, like the plague. In the very likely event that you're completely ignoring the fact that I'm getting gangbanged by Venom and Black Panther in the backline, please feel free to use a health pack while I walk back to the fight. It's also heavily encouraged that you pay attention to the kill feed in the top right of your screen. If you see 5 people on your team go down, it is now not a perfect time to jump into a 1v6 and then scream at your healer. Please enjoy yourself in this ranked match and just know that we are most likely...
We get it, dude. Yeah, thanks for me.
The funniest part is them standing still and dying to someone I'm like 2 feet away. No way!
Please enjoy yourself in this ranked match and just know that we are
Hello!
most likely...
No reaction!
We get it, dude. Yeah, thanks for the info.
Oh my god, what is this daycare? What the hell was that?
The only thing more disgusting than
Oh, hey,
watching
it's this
people
guy.
crack open those nasty-ass Dubai chocolate bars for a TikTok shop commission is watching Marvel Rivals support players develop the exact same ego that Overwatch support players have.
I know who this is. This is gonna either be diabolical and just be absolute rage bait, or it's gonna be pretty true, but also kind of rage bait.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but you have zero moral superiority over someone else just because your favorite character is a strategist and their favorite character is a duelist. It's always, oh my god, these insta-lock DPS. But it's never, why did my insta-lock Luna not hit a single big freeze this entire game? Why did my insta-lock Cloak and Dagger run their ult
So it's the second one.
the enemy backline when my backline is getting Psylocke ult?
You should see the massive Reddit page post between roles. Wait, what do you mean?
Why the f are we on Rocket Loki? Just because you're playing a strategist does not mean that you are just cleansed of all blame and the game is not in your hands and, oh, you're just here along for the ride and it's your responsibility to carry me. No. This ego, this entitlement that support players have, I didn't stand for it in Overwatch, and I'm already seeing it develop in Marvel Rivals, and that's gotta stop now. And no.
Okay, let's make it very simple. This is the truth. I'll sum it up for you because some people are visual learners. This is in fact correct. I am the main character of this game, and the other two roles are useless feeders. Everyone should feel bad for me, I'm never the issue. DPS players. I am the villain of the game. I am bad and useless and always rage at supports and tanks. I always go to fight 1v6 and only get kills with my ult. Tank. I am constantly suffering! Ah! How it actually is. I have the lowest skill requirement for doing the bare minimum and have an impact on the game, but good performance requires a very good understanding of this game, and I often have an inflated ego based on my healing statistics. This is mostly true. Support has an insane amount of impact on this game. I'll tell you right now, supports that are good at communicating when to get... So, for example, Cloak and Dagger players, a lot of Cloak and Dagger players are accused of being boosted or being bad. And the difference between a good one and a bad one is understanding how to play versus your counter, which is Magneto ult. And the way you play against it is either you communicate with your own Magneto to get bubble for your third dash, or you know on the third dash is actually where you're going to die most of the time. And so on your third dash, you have to be either going behind your own tank line to get shielded, or you have to be going for cover or something breaking LOS. And by the fourth one, you got to be gone, right? Those things is what separates a good player, though, from a bad player. But you can still have 60,000 healing and look like you're the most insane player on the planet. The difference is, though, one of them will have 20 deaths, one will have 3 deaths. DPS. I have a higher skill requirement for the actual impact of the game and in the most popular role. This creates a large amount of selfish, mediocre players, but a good player can actually carry the whole game. This is also true. DPS players in Rivals and even back in Overwatch are the most skilled players in the game. Every really, really talented player I've ever played with was a DPS player. They can flex to tank, no problem. The difference is, though, is like in extremely high elo lobbies, they might suffer a little bit because they aren't as good at the tank macro, but they're so good with their aim, they're so good with their cooldowns that a lot of times it doesn't actually matter. And that's why you can a lot of times see those rank 1 DPS players are able to get top 10 on tank easily as well. They are just extremely talented players because they are mechanically very talented, and then they also learn how to play the game in the hardest role, and it can transfer over. The third thing is also still true. I am constantly suffering. Because the tank is just suffering in every game, and that's okay. You know what you're signing up for. But here's the thing with tank: you are the least respected role. You are the most blamed role if you're getting hard rolled, because what happens is if your tank's getting hard rolled, you're typically getting hard rolled because your support's not doing a very good job. And if your support's not doing a very good job, they blame on you for dying too much. You're out of LOS. You are just doing whatever. I'm getting dove. Like, you should be helping me, right? It's always going to end up being your fault. And then if you pop off, it will just actually make this guy look really, really good. Because the DPS player will have so much space that they put out a ton of damage, and then they look like they're an insane gamer. So if you play tank, you will get no credit, even if you play super well, and you will get blamed if your supports are lacking. That is the truth. That is how it works. Hope this was helpful. Okay, let's finish this.
And no, you can go ahead and delete that comment. I'm not a salty DPS player. My top 3 most played characters are Luna Snow, Cloak and Dagger, and Mantis, in that order. The reality of games like this is that every single player on the team has an equal responsibility in the outcome of the match. And for whatever reason, support players seem to not be able to get that through their head. The only...
Damn. I don't think you should go at support players' necks like that, to be honest with you, because not everyone's like that, but yeah, I get it. What?
What?
I thought he said flat, so he said, I think he's saying what?
It just cut my wall in half? He just cut my wall in half. Do you see this?
What? Wait, what?
What is that? What?
Yeah, he can't be CC'd. He just beats you. He actually can't be CC'd. He is that guy. He's actually just a Giga Chad. Nothing you can do about it. Get rolled.
Hey man, the game's been out a while now. How are you finding Marvel Rivals?
Oh, hey man. Yeah, the game's alright if you ignore all the glaring problems.
Really? I think the game's great. What don't you like?
Well, for starters, you have to buy the battle pass and pretty much all of the skins.
In a free-to-play game?
Well, it's just that
But the core experience of the game, the gameplay itself, is completely free.
The tail
No, but
clap
everyone
or
else
as
has
old
really
as
cool
time.
skins and I don't, and it's totally not fair.
Okay, so you're just mad everything in the world isn't free. Okay. Anything else?
Well, I think the game needs a loading queue.
What do you mean, a loading queue?
That you should load in certain roles to make sure that each team has a good distribution of attackers, healers, and tanks.
Okay, and what characters do you play as?
I just play as Iron Fist. Why?
It's called team composition for a reason, though. If you're going into a match feeling that your team isn't balanced
the problem.
correctly, why don't you switch characters and play as a healer or a tank?
But I don't want to play as anyone else. I want to play as Iron Fist.
Okay, so not only do you want this game to be entirely free and all the additional content to also be entirely free, you also want to jump into a game where everyone who you play with revolves around your every whim and want, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Do you want to play a few rounds?
No, I'm good. I thought I was done with this shit with Overwatch.
I was gonna say, we've played these games before! We have played these games before.
Jump in. See if it works. Jump in.
Oh, I saw this.
Where the fuck did he go? Don't know where I went.
What?
You vanished.
What just happened?
It's actually gone.
Jump in.
This is, dude, Railgun Thor. I see if we can catch him in time.
See if it works. Jump in.
Dude, he's just gone. Bro, he's just gone.
Did he go? Don't know where I went.
What?
You vanished.
Bro, he's just gone. Dude, he literally went to a different dimension. Dude, someone in a DC universe just got hit. Sent bro back to Overwatch. Damn, that's crazy. Oh man.
Double KO.
Oh
That's
god.
3. Wow, 4 in a row. 5. That's amazing. 6 in a row. Way to go. Double KO. That's 3. Wow, 4 in a row.
Alright, well played.
That's amazing. 6 in a
Alright, well played. Well played. I'll finish it.
row. Way to go.
Last one, chat.
Motherfucker, run! Raider! I think he's right behind me, Raider! Please stop! You're running a little too fast! Oh my god, Raider! Motherfucker!
I will say this again. If you play Loki, stop putting down your clones when they have Winter Soldier, Bucky, ult. You are killing us all. God damn it. Alright. By the way, chat, though, this content is always completely supplied by you guys. So if you want me to do more of these, make sure you submit them. Cool TikToks you see in my Discord, because without you and without that, I wouldn't be able to do this type of content. So if you want to see more of it, that's how you get it. Anyways, though, appreciate you, and that's all I got for these TikToks. Cool.